Well, welcome to some archive footage that I've had from years ago, and it was taken when Winfields had all these classic motorcycles on the ground floor. And I can remember when I went to Winfields that they've had 3 locations for the classic motorcycles, and mainly upstairs in the building opposite the main building. And it was to the right of the upstairs, and then it was moved to the far end where the cafe was, and it was situated on display in and around all the seating area for the cafe, which was great because you could just sit there, have a cup of coffee and look at your favourite bike. However, over the years it was finally moved into the location that you see it in now, and if you saw the beginning of the video, it's the building on the right as you go in, and it was on the ground floor there. No charge. It's one of the best free classic motorcycle shows that you could see, and all started by Dale Winfield. And there used to be many years ago a Rottenstall bike Sunday, and I know Dale used to arrange for all the classic motorcycles, most of them there, to be lined up on the East Lanc railway station at Rottenstall, and of course take part in the rally at Rottenstall. However, all those good years have gone, and all we're now left with is our memories, videos and photographs. 3 beautiful bikes there, Sunbeam, AGS and another AGS, and they're all different because that one is the Sunbeam with hairspring valves, and you can just about see it underneath. Very dark, so I had to raise the level of the camera so there's a bit of noise there. And the next bike to it is another AJS, and that had an overhead camshaft, and we're going back to what, 26, 27, 29, 1929 camshafts. Vincent came in various guises, the Black Shadow, the Comet, and 1000cc, very heavy bike, but what a performer. And the ubiquitous Nortons, famous for the TT wins for years and years and years, until our Japanese Hondas, etc. came over and took the titles. However, we've got the originals, and they were in the collection there. And those bikes, especially the Nortons, the 500, the Manx Nortons and the 350s, they must have took some riding, because they weren't very sophisticated, not like the machines we've got today. But I think in those days, I think they were winning the circuit on a average speed of about 80 or 90 miles an hour, whereas it's over 200 miles an hour now, so progress has been made. However, I'm not an official on any part of these motorcycles. All I am is a guy from the 50s who used to buy the leftovers from the war years, the Cottons, the Levises, the Ariels, AJS. I had a 16M 350, girder forks, beautiful bike, run forever, and even did a bit of racing over at Brough Aerodrome, and that was with a HRD 500, and I think it was a Blackburn engine, 500cc Blackburn engine that we had. And I think it cost about 17 and sixpence in all money to enter the race, and I think the winner got about £3.50, which was good going, because in them days an average wage was what, two or three quid if you were lucky. I know I was earning £1.52 a week in those days, and we used to have a wood hut. It was called the Bodger's hut, and we used to prepare the bike in there and keep it in there. We used to take it up to Brough Aerodrome on a little sidecar chassis, and there'd be about 5 of us all chipped in for to do the racing. I think that's a Triumph Triple, and they tried desperately to bring back the market, and that was one of the efforts that they made for it. I might be wrong, but I'll stand corrected. If anybody's got any comments, please leave them. I'm always welcome to them. I don't know everything, and I don't know anybody who does know everything. But there we are, Norton, I think it's the Commander, and then another Vincent, 1000cc. And the combination is a Scott Squirrel with, I think it's a Watsonian sidecar, belonged originally to Steve McQueen. And I had one of these. It was a Trojan mini motor that clipped on the back of a bike, and with a carburetor wheel run on the tyre, and you were lucky if you got 20-25 miles an hour out of it. Today, with modern e-bikes, you can do 40, 60, 70 miles an hour, and the voltage on the batteries have just increased the speed limits. It's gone crazy. In my day, with one of those things, I think I paid 12 and sixpence second hand. You'll have to work all these old-fashioned monies out yourself, but I paid 12 and sixpence, and I used to do a paper round on that when I was a lad. And dreadful things, but it was just after the war. There was nothing else available. The only thing you had was the leftovers from the 30s, and this was something new that you could buy that stick on a bike, and it got you to work and back. And there we are, another shot of that Scott Squirrel with the Watsonian sidecar, and next to it is the workhorse of them all, the BSA. The 350 and the 500, and the Velocette Mac, again 350 or a 500, and with the racing version of the Thruxton. And this is all from memory. I can remember these bikes and the people who owned them, and how we used to go on little trips. Very dusty at the time. I think they just moved a lot of clothing into that ground floor, and the dust off the clothing had gone onto the bikes, but they were dusted regularly. They were well looked after. And the Cafe Racer, the BSA, the Ace Cafe down in London, a lot of you bikers will know it. Again, I'm not a historian, I'm not an aficionado, I'm just an ordinary guy who remembers the good days. And quite an extensive collection here, and I think this wasn't the full collection. I think Dale sold a few off at one stage, and these were what were left. And there we are. That's the Motor Gutsy with a passenger seat that had his own handlebars. How cool is that? What kind of an engine that was, I have no idea, but it was in beautifully turned out condition. And I think next to that is the Ariel. I think again Ariel did the 350 and 500, and they were a very tall bike. For some reason they were quite tall, those, and lengthy. And I had the 500 version. It was a good thumper, that. Go forever, those bikes. And this is the one that spoiled it for us, the Honda, along with the Suzuki and the Kawasaki and all the others. The engineering was quite good on the Hondas, and well, they got the market, didn't they? But we had a good few years before it was taken over anyway, so our industry survived for a good long time during the war and after the war. Yeah, I think one of the bikes there is Evil Knievel's as well. What a collection that they had at Winfields. And there's the HRD, the Vincent, and the one we had was exactly the same as that, Girder Forks, 500cc, but it had the Blackburn engine. And if you don't know what a Blackburn engine is, have a look on Google. And a lot of the Blackburn engines was used in dirt track bikes, speedway, in those days anyway. Right next to the HRD is the bike that I have very fond memories of, and it was the Triumph. Not quite there yet, we're still looking at the HRD, but that's the one we used to race up at Brough Aerodrome. Yeah, happy days those, very happy days. And that's the AGS, the Porcupine as it was known in my day. I would have loved to have ridden one of those, but never had the opportunity. But it's nice to look at, nice to see in the flesh, as it were. Look at that whacking big megaphone on the rear of it. To the right is a AGS, there it is. I think they were called Silver Streaks. I think that's the 500 version with the upswept exhaust, which used to burn the inside of your right leg. And that little pipe there carries the oil up to the valve gear, and they were sweated on with brass, and it used to break and used to leak incessantly on those things, and you'd have to have a new pipe made up and fitted. And here we are, the Ariel Square 4. What a beautiful bike, 4 cylinders, and it ran very quietly, and it sounded really nice, mainly for the combination, you know, having a sidecar on the side of it. It was a good pulling bike, so a family, you know, wife, husband would be driving it, and a couple of kids in the sidecar, and that thing would take you along all day. Yeah, 4 cylinders, very neat design, whereas the Japanese ones were in line, that is 4 in like a pot, So there's 4 separate cylinders in there. Beautiful design, beautiful bike. But it wasn't copied by the Japanese for some reason. Yeah, another shot from the side. The flutes on the petrol tank remind me of the Vauxhall bonnets. They all had flutes from the Prince Henry upwards. But I'm going into cars now, so I better come back to motorbikes. Yeah. Got my first bike licence in the 50s, early 50s. And I've retained it ever since. I'm dwelling on that bike because it's a thing of beauty. It is to me anyway. Now then, 350 overhead valve Triumph. Again, upswept exhaust that used to burn your right leg. Nearly bought one of them for £8, £8, and it was in a barn at Haslingden at the top end of Burnley. And I went to see it with another farmer mate of mine, Bob Townsend. And it was covered up in straw and goodness knows what else. I asked the farmer, I said, how much do you want for it? It wasn't running, it was all dusty, but obviously it had not been touched since it'd been laid up. He said, give me £8 and you can have it. Well, like I said, I was on £1.52 a week. £8 was a lot of money. I just couldn't afford it, so I never got it. I always wanted that bike, the 350. Yeah, lovely. And the unusual thing there is that in the top of the tank you had all the dials, the fuel gauge and everything. There's the links for the suspension, single spring, girder forks with links and dampers. Yeah, lovely little bike, lovely. Well, that's about the end of the trip that I made that day, and it's all part of my archive footage from Winfields. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it keeps the spirit alive, and all I can say is thank you, Dale Winfield, for giving us such a lovely collection to look at whilst we were shopping, and all for free. Cheers for now. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and thanks for staying with it. It's been a long one, but it'll soon be taken over by a motor dealer, and we'll be able to look at our next car on the same lot. Motor Trust. Well, we'll see what develops anyway. Cheers for now.